I have a saying that goes that age isn't a number, it's how well your spine moves and feels. So let's talk about how we can free the spine using cat-cow variations from the quadruped position. So you may be familiar with the cat-cow. Traditionally, it's where you would get into a quadruped position and then flex and extend your spine. And it's very simple, great movement, but today I want to talk about three concepts that are going to help you extract more value, more freedom from this mobilization. So the first concept is breath synchronization. So watch me first. Traditionally, what you would do is inhale during the flexion and exhale during extension, which is great. I use it all the time in mobility flows and as part of my warm-ups. But if you have a little more time and you want to go a little bit deeper, we can hold each position, flexion and extension, for a full breath cycle. So watch me. I would inhale and then hold it for the full exhale, and then go into extension with an inhale and hold it for an exhale. So one breath cycle each. Let's do a couple together. So starting from our quadruped position, here we go. Inhale as you go into flexion, which will allow you to build the intensity of the stretch, and then exhale, push through that restriction to open up the spine more. Now let's inhale into extension and exhale, create more extension. Inhale, tuck the chin, bring the sternum to the pubic bone. Exhale, try to bring them closer together. Now, separate the sternum and pubic bone, lift the chin, lift the tail for that inhale, and then exhale, try to arch the spine a little more. Okay, so second concept is segmentation, which means changing the peak of flexion and the lowest point of extension to focus on each segment of the spine for a more comprehensive spinal mobilization. So, watch me. What most people do is they're just flexing and extending through roughly the center of the spine and probably biasing to the part of the spine that moves the best already. But with segmentation, what we're going to do is go through each segment of the spine. So, I would start with my lower back just above the sacrum. Watch me. And I'm going to flex, focusing on this section right here where my thumb is, and then extend from that section, or arch from that section, and then move a little bit further up here and make that next section the focal point of both flexion and then the valley of extension, and then move up a little bit further, and so on and so forth, moving all the way up and then back down the spine, moving each section or even each vertebrae one at a time if you have the time to practice that long, because the spine is meant to move. Each section of it is meant to move. But because of life and other restrictions and things like that, sometimes certain parts of it get locked up. So with segmentation, we can move all the way up, all the way down the spine. Really powerful practice. And like I said, there are times when you have more time, you can literally do each vertebrae one at a time all the way up, but other times you can just do, with segmentation. So let's practice a quick one together real quick, and we'll just do it in 3 segments. We'll go lower, middle, and upper. So back in our cat-cow, here we go. Let's focus on the lower back and inhale, flexion, and exhale, extend, focusing on the lower back. Now with the next one, let's move up to the mid back. Flex with an inhale, and exhale, extend, focusing on the mid back. And now let's move to the upper back. So inhale, flex, go to the upper back, like between the shoulder blades, and then extend, pushing that section down to the floor. Okay, so that's segmentation. Now, the third concept is one of my favorites. It's adding lateral flexion, or what I call the spinal jump rope. So watch me first in position here, and we're gonna start in flexion like we normally would, but then I'm going to move my spine laterally, pressing into the rib cage, then down to the floor in extension, then to the other side. I'm coming towards you, pushing my rib cage out, lateral spinal flexion, and then circling back to the top. So if you watch it, I'm just moving my spine in the way that a jump rope travels and trying to push into all those corners of lateral movement as well as flexion and extension. All right, do a couple with me. Let's start together here. Let's take a big breath in, flexion. All right, now let's begin moving counterclockwise. And exhaling as the spine comes down, inhaling as it comes up, using the hands and knees to help push into the ribs, into all those corners. Try to make it the biggest jump rope you can. And now let's go the other direction. Making the spine the focus. The shoulders and hips should stay relatively still in space. All about the spine here. Okay. All right. So now we've got 3 new concepts to explore to extract more freedom from the spine. The first, breath synchronization. Inhaling with flexion, exhaling with extension, or if you want to go deeper, holding each one for a full breath cycle, using the inhale to build the intensity of the stretch and the exhale to move through restriction. Second, we've got segmentation, moving a piece by piece up and down the spine to unlock any stuck segments. And then number 3, we have the lateral component, the spinal jump rope. So I want you to carve out 5 or 10 minutes to get into your body and practice today to free your spine.